Hello, we're recording. I haven't recorded a video in a little while. Apologies for that. I've been ill and busy. So, this is going to be a short video because I just want to sort out a few bugs and then just to clear things out of the way ready so that we can do some biome work. And it's going to be a short video so that I can record another one and maybe another one today. So maybe I'm going to go for like 3 videos and then release those over the next few days. This one today, if it works out. This is my favourite seed, 99. Feels like home. Okay, so last video we were trying to sort out the following problem. Um, when I create blocks, in this case netherite, um, we can't walk on them. Or can we? You can actually. So I can't remember who put in the comments. They were saying that you can't, or one of the things to do next is to be able to walk on these. So that's already part of our system, which I'll show you in a moment. The other thing is that if we go and mine a hole, I'm actually looking for a good place to do it. It doesn't matter where I do it. Let's just do it here. Let's just go. Okay, we'll take this chunk away. There's our axe animation, thanks to Anoush, and um, mine's worse than Anoush's. Okay, mine's worse than Anoush's, and I didn't do Anoush's properly. Anoush's code is all good, by the way. Um, there we go. So we are digging nice and deep. So the reason I'm doing this is to show you that our subject position, our player's position, is not quite right. So if I go in the hole, there we go. That seems okay. So I'm down in the hole. Our mining system is working, and we can pop out of the hole. But now it looks like I'm on top of the hole, and I'm not falling down, which is kind of frustrating. And there you can see that I've gone kind of left of the hole. I can't remember whether I'm north, south, or minus on the x-axis, or positive, or indeed whether it's a z-axis, minus or positive. But something's not quite right. So we've got to fix that. And which is simple. I had the idea and then I tried it out in preparation. It's so simple. I guessed right. I think I said it in the last few videos. Oh yeah, and there it looks like we're kind of walking through these built blocks, which is not correct. If I go back here, now I'm suddenly okay. So, whoever it was who commented in the comments about not being able to walk on top of blocks, it might be they've just tried that and they're like, yep, I'm going through it. It's not working properly. And actually, the issue is simpler. It's just we've not aligned our subject properly. Anyway, so while I go and show you that this is, so it has been implemented, our being able to walk on built blocks. So that's a built block. So a built block, if you're not familiar or you've forgotten since a few weeks, and to remind myself, a built block will be marked in the dictionary with a B, the letter B. And then if we detect there's a built block, it is part of the actual terrain. Although in a separate model to the terrain, it's in the builds model. So as we're looking at this landscape, we've got the terrain model, and then we've also got the builds model. So anything we've built, including, I think, the spawned cave walls. So when we do some mining, um, we have grey blocks, yeah, spawned below and at the side if we need them. And yeah, I suppose the third bug is we're not always getting the block spawned when we need it. Most of the time it's okay. I think it's bad when I do that. No, that's okay. It's when there's like if I get that one out of the way, then yep, it spawned one behind it. But then maybe if I take that one, no, that's okay. Anyway, the secret to debugging this is to find the condition when we can see through the terrain like this. So I thought I had it, but I don't have it there. Right, so let's go and sort out the subject's position. So welcome to tutorial 16. Let's firstly, this is the code from tutorial 15. So I'm just going to save this as tutorial 16 so that I'm saving all of the code as it exists for each video. So for people who are following along, they can get the specific code for specific videos, which is all on GitHub. Which if you haven't heard of GitHub, I'm sure you have by the time you've got to this video. It's a place for storing code and updating it and keeping it all synced together, and also for allowing other people to kind of in an open source way add their own code, which some of you have already done. So you can go to GitHub, go to the issues page, and you can add comments or suggestions and things like that, or improve my code. Right, so now we're in tutorial 16. I can change this to 16. So that's safe. So previous code, if I muck up everything, it's going to be fine. So let's go down. So down to the bottom of our code, we have a function called generate shell, which is a bad name now because we're not using like a shell to walk on the terrain. We're using this dictionary called tdic. There we go, a terrain dictionary. So basically, when the terrain is created, we save the position of the block x, y, and z. So it's x, it's z, and it's y is up and down. And we either record in that position in that dictionary. If there's a gap there, that means we've mined some block or some terrain, and it's disappeared, and we've destroyed it. So we need to know there's a gap there, and that's for when we're spawning cave walls. If there's a gap, i.e. somewhere where you've dug, we don't want to spawn a wall there. So that's why we record where gaps are. Otherwise, if we build a block, we record a B there to know it's a built block, i.e. when we mine it, we don't want it to spawn any walls. So if we find a B, we don't spawn any walls. Otherwise, if it's just a piece of terrain or a spawned wall, we just record the height of that block. So instead of gap or B, we just record a number, the height of that block, because that might be useful later on. And actually, do we use the height here? Let's just have a look. So our target y equals, no, it's fine. We use, yeah, what we essentially do here is look through the dictionary positions at the subject's position x, y, and z, but we also look up the step height. So if there's a block, and I've put the step height as 3, if there's a block like 3 units above, we're kind of pretending that we can still step up there, so we can kind of like climb up there. And you could change that to 30. So if there's a block 30 units high, you could, as it were, jump instantly up there. Well, because we're using lerp, you'll kind of like fly up there smoothly. You won't just like teleport. Anyway, 3 is about realistic for me. So if there's a block like 5 meters like over my head, it feels like I wouldn't be able to jump and grab it, so we'd walk straight underneath it. Right. Anyway, so our subject is not lining up correctly. So I think we can just add 0.5 to put us in the center of the block, because what's actually happening is we are standing relative to the corner, the bottom corner of a block as you look from the top. So we just need to adjust our position 0.5 in terms of reading the dictionary position. So let's just go and run again. I think I've saved the script, so it should be updated. Let's go and have a look. So what seed is this? 110. I'm not sure I like that one. So I'll press G to toggle off the terrain generation just as I move around. Oh, that's another thing we can do. When we're in build mode like this, when we press F in other words, it would be a good idea to, as someone else suggested, sorry, it's been like weeks and weeks, then we could have like smooth building. And then when we come out of build mode, then we could like turn on the terrain generation again. Yeah, just so it's a bit nicer. Anyway, what are we testing? Oh yes. So yeah, if we're moving around the terrain now, just as I get up this like little ledge, now I stand up. Yes. And you can see right in the middle of our screen, we're on like a razor's edge. So that's perfect for, let's just call that the x-axis. I don't know if that's actually the z-axis. And again, this will be the Z then. Yep, just as we get to the corner there, or the edge, we're stepping up. So now when we dig a hole, like that, and I'm using the script to allow us to like move the build blocks location or the wireframe up and down. That was, I remember that was Ethan Rodriguez. It's a really good idea. It's something I want to update. I want it to get closer to the Minecraft version. There's something else I was just going to say before I got in. Oh yes, you see this horrible. I should just do one thing at a time, but we'll go and see if the whole works in a moment. Right, this horrible looking thing. It's an artifact of the fact that we are using like megasets and subsets and things like that, which has to have the same texture and UV map as each individual block. So it has to kind of be visible. If we make it invisible, well, I've tried different combinations. If we make it invisible, things like that, then it means the rest of the terrain is invisible or doesn't appear when it should appear. Anyway, I think I've got a solution. Basically, we can like spawn that like original model or model that's going, or parent model, that's what it is. This is the parent for all the subsets. We can spawn it really high in the air so that we can't see it. It's like 999, something like that. And then just adjust everything down, everything else down. So that's worked in a different script that I'm doing another Minecrafty kind of thing, and it worked there. So that's what we should do. The other thing, just as I'm coming back down to test the mine hole, is yeah, we need to combine all trees that we're creating as we go around the terrain into one great big model um, or entity, parent entity model, so that just like our subsets to make everything run 60 frames per second smooth like this will be true for the trees as well, else they're going to slow us down. Anyway, do we go down the hole in the correct way? Lovely, we are in the hole, and then if I move left and right, the only thing that should happen is it just zooms us up the sides and we'll be on the terrain again. Yeah, there we go. But we don't clip. Oh, we did clip. We clipped through there. Oh, is that because I went right through the corner maybe? I think the subject thing is working though. The subject location position. Just looking at the time, well, I say we've solved one problem. There was a little bit of a clipping issue there, obviously, but that's to do with a new bug, which is our moving up and down blocks isn't solved yet, i.e. build blocks, because if we had a tower in front of us, then because the bottom blocks in the tower, actually I could actually build a tower. I'm using a program where I can literally build what I'm talking about. There we go. Oops. What did I do there? Oh, I pressed Q accidentally. Oh, man. You can't blame me because I'm ill. I'm ill, so everything I do is fine. Right, is allowed. Right, F. Okay, let's build a tower. So the problem is, we can literally demonstrate this, because the blocks near the bottom are obviously not higher than my step height, which is 3. They're not more than 3 blocks away. This should just, like an elevator, pass me to the next 3 blocks up. So it will just transport me to the very top. There we go. That's predicted. I hadn't actually run that test before behind the scenes, but there we go. So what we've essentially got to do is say something like, if we're about to step up on a block, I go, wait a minute, is there a block above you? Yeah. Is there another one a block above him? And then if that happens like a number of times beyond our step height, then we're like, wait a minute, we're not allowed to get up there. Also, I think we begin testing whether we can get up somewhere by going from the top of our step height. So actually what it's doing, it's saying, is there a block there? If there is, move me up to that block. But actually I should just say, is there one above you? If there is, then I'm not allowed to get up there. Ah, that's probably the algorithm. What was that? It's about 15 minutes in tutorial 16. So I should maybe remember that when I do it next video. Okay. So the other problem, okay, the main problem is if I'm deleting these, well, I'm deleting these fine, but I'm sure I had some cave walls being spawned in other situations. Yeah, there we go. So that shouldn't be happening. A good thing that's happening is, yep, we can definitely walk on built blocks. If there's a block really high above our head, we don't automatically, land on top of it. Like I said, you'd have to have a tower at the minute, but there is an algorithmic solution to that to stop us getting zoomed up there. So yeah, we're able to like walk and build blocks and all that. That's fine. But occasionally we're getting them spawning when we're trying to mine them. So that's why I want to sort out this video, and which I've prepared behind the scenes. So the problem is in our mining system. So, oh, this is the mining system from last video. Let's just close that down. And I've copied that code, haven't I? Yeah. So the current mining system, which has got to be called mining system in order to work with our code. Where is it? Mining system, there it is. Mining underscore system.py. It's got to be called that because in our let's just move this over here, this tab over here, in our main file, we are importing the mining system class from mining underscore system, which Ursina can only find, or a Python can only find, if there's a file called mining underscore system.py in the same folder as where this main module is being run from. So if you want to change the file name, you have to change the name here. That's all you'd have to do. But anyway, right. I just need to pause the video to go and help someone out, and then I'll try and finish this within half an hour. See you in a moment. Okay, I'm back. No time for you. Right, so in the mining system, yes, what's happening is, so whatever's going wrong is happening in the mine function. So imagine we've built some blocks, we've mined one of them, it disappears, fantastic. We mine another one of those, and suddenly some cave walls, those grave stones, sounds like gravestone, just the grey stones are appearing around it. That shouldn't be happening. So that's happening from this function. So the first thing that we do to remind ourselves is we look at all the vertices in the builds model. So that's very relevant because we're looking at only those blocks that we've built. So those ones that have been combined into the builds model. So looking through all the vertices of that model. And that's why we're looking at the vertices, because they're all kind of clumped together, all those built blocks, as like one model really. So they're all like one block shaped from many blocks that we've built and have now been destroyed when they got combined into that one large model. And what's then happening is here, this is the problem, line 227, we're recording a new gap on the dictionary. Now, that doesn't really want to happen because that gap doesn't really exist yet until we've called this builds model generate, i.e. to update the where the hole is, and notice that mine spawn, where we're spawning, so this is the problem, we're spawning cave walls where we shouldn't be spawning them, and that is only getting called if at that dictionary position where we're digging it doesn't equal B. Now if we've set it to a gap, then um, then it will be able to um, call this function. This function will be called. So if it doesn't equal B, so actually maybe I can just say if it doesn't equal B or gap, now you can go and mine spawn. Will that work? I don't know if this is now going to interrupt. Sorry, this is a different way to how I prepared the solution, but it means we don't have to change as much code potentially. So let's just see. So if it doesn't equal gap, or sorry, oh, we've got to say all of this again, doesn't equal. Okay. um, let's just say, let's get that out of there and say, what's here? So if change is true, we'll say what's here equals all of that. So what this code does is just go and fetch the value of that dictionary key, i.e. the position where we're digging. Let's just put these back here. Whoops. Oh, okay, it's got to be there. And now we can use what's here in our code down there. And particularly because we're using it twice. We've halved the speed of our code. So for this little algorithm, so if what's here does not equal B, and I should say, and what's here does not equal a gap, then it's time to go and mine spawn. However, what I'm just thinking is, oh no, if it were the terrain, we're down here. This is where we're dealing with the subsets, i.e. the terrain's vertices. Up here is where we're dealing with the build blocks. Okay. So we've mined it. Then we generate. So in either case, we regenerate the builds model, because if there was a change, then the builds model will have to be updated. So let's just put the comment in there. Update builds model entity so that we see the gaps. I.e. we changed the model. Update vertices. Okay, if build block equals false, then we need to combine. Why do we need to combine? Oh, because mine spawn. Oh, I should just be able to do this up here. That's because of mine spawn, and I should just be able to take that away, build block. Feels very redundant. And then take build block here, away, and there. Okay, that feels nice. It's kind of cleaning the code. But will it work? So that's all in the mining system. So let's go and run this now. And what we're testing is, yeah, if we've got some built blocks, are they being deleted without spawning cave walls? That's the behavior that we want. Also, I'd better just go and make sure that we are mining the rest of the terrain as we expect, so we haven't ruined anything else. So we're in build mode. So first, we can definitely still build our terrain as we want. I've also still got this fixed on netherite just for testing, because the black sticks out. Another thing for kind of like the next few videos is to just turn on again ability to change between blocks. Anyway, so we can walk on those. We can, yep, walk on those. And yeah, as I said, I was explaining, if we put one really high in the air, we walk underneath it. We don't. Oh, we might be able to grab it from this side. Nope, that's lovely. So it's beyond our step height. So now, can we go and delete these? So this is what we're expecting. However, we kind of got a bit of this behavior last time. And it's only occasionally when we're getting the bug. Anyway, it's working very well. So let's now just go and do some mining. Okay, so we can mine terrain. Let's just go and delete another one of these. Yep, it's not spawning anything it shouldn't be. Very good. And what if we dig down? Oh, by the way, that's it. When I'm creating a gap underneath another terrain, that's when that other bug is happening. Oh, that wasn't good. That usually works fine, so yeah, that wasn't good either. These should definitely be spawning cave wall. So mine spawn isn't being called for those. That's a shame. So our code is kind of like working. It's eradicated that first bug, but now it's introduced another one. Welcome to programming. Right. Can we test this further? Yeah. So these are not spawning anything. Okay. So we go back to our mining system. So first, let's just go and see mine spawn. This is the one. Sorry, I keep going past it. Here we are, mine spawn. So this is called, yeah, when we're doing some mining, have I basically taken out a chunk of the terrain or a cave wall, one of the things that's been spawned? Do I need to now go and spawn some more cave walls to give the illusion that we're digging down into a deep or an infinitely deep terrain? So, oh, wait a minute. Oh no, sorry. I was just thinking I hadn't changed the gap position, but I did it in a different way, didn't I? Anyway, so let's just look through this. So spawn one block below dig position. So this wasn't now happening. If -1 equals none, then record gap location in dictionary. So where we presently are trying to dig, we say there's a gap. This should already be spawn one block below dig position. So we're getting, yeah, one below. If it equals none, we record a gap in the dictionary. I'm not sure that we have to do that because we're already recording a gap. So let's just comment this out. First of all, let's just see what difference that makes to begin with. Oh, now I'm very close to the half an hour. Maybe this is going to be a usual length video. Right, so I seem to be able to, mine at least, okay, well, things are spawning in the correct way, but now when I do that, yeah, so I can't dig, mine the built blocks aren't get mine spawn is never being um, is not being called. But we're not okay, so but otherwise it's kind of like working correctly. If I go yeah. Okay, so the code that we commented out, I am safe to comment out, which is good. I like it if we're taking code out and nothing's being destroyed. Very good. Okay, so then we're creating an entity to go below where we're digging. So yeah, its position is one below. Its parent is the builds entity. Good. I was going to get combine into that. And then record the newly spawned block on the dictionary. Um, yeah. EY minus equals 1. So EY is current position. And we're just going to record there, not B, but E dot Y. Okay. Then we go to look at all the other like 4 possibly surrounding walls and a similar kind of thing. And that's the end of the function. So that is happening in mine. That's being called in mine. So first we're looking through the builds model, so existing, so cave walls and built blocks. So one thing actually I'm just going to add, I don't think this is a problem, but when we look through the subsets, I use this little variable to keep count of how many vertices have we actually moved. I was anticipating we're just moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so i.e. the vertices that describe a cube. However, it turned out to be 36, and that's a mystery, the vertices mystery, which no one solved yet. So anyway, let's just add that to the code further up. So we can say when we've so total v plus equals 1 if total v is greater than or equal to 36, then break out of this iteration, out of this loop. We don't need to go and check any more vertices, and actually we don't need to record a gap every time we're changing a vertex, so that does need to come down here. Now that's quite strange. What's going to be here is always going to be a gap. If we changed any vertex, then we're going to have a gap here. So I don't need to know what's here. Rather, this needs to be set after that. Okay. And it's what was here. we don't need to generate. Okay. I do it here. Okay. So this is a bit strange. So what used to be there might have been a built thing, or it might be a gap. But how could it be a gap? Oh, sorry. It can. Sorry, it can never be a gap that we've mined. Sorry, it was only going to be a gap if we've changed this to gap. So now we don't need to say that for gap. As long as it doesn't equal b. And then return. Yes, we don't need to. We're not. Okay. So the problem was we were never getting to here. Mine spawn when we're spawning something. What's here does not equal b mine spawn. So that would suggest that in mine spawn we were setting things to be, setting things at certain positions to be. Oh, that looks like we're setting something to be. What's that? That is only when we're building something. Yeah, that's fine. We don't call build, do we, from mine spawn? No, mine spawn, we record e dot y. We record for those for e dot y. Okay, so save that. Save our main module and run, and we're coming up to 40 minutes. Silly me for imagining that we could sort something out in a few minutes. Well, actually, I did, and now I've done it a different way, and my different way is not working. Okay. Oh, now this way is working. Okay. Um, so where we could see through the terrain just now, that was the different bug. It's not the current bug, so we're okay. So just to help you know that what bug we're talking about. So we can definitely get into our holes and things like this. Lovely. So, oh, now the test is, do we delete these? And they don't spawn anything. Lovely. Oh, I can make stairs. Let's make some stairs. Lovely. Now I can walk up these lovely stairs and then jump off. Brilliant. I can get up onto that first stair, isn't it? Okay, and now can I make some more things and then just test. That we're not. So none of these, when I mine them, these black netherite cubes, should spawn anything because they are not, well, they've all got a B marked in the dictionary. So if there's a B, then you do not mine spawn. Mine spawn was a function that makes the walls and things. Fantastic. So just make sure these are okay. Can I? So I should be able to mine that one. That should behave correctly. Yeah. Good. So they're behaving correctly, and of course, when I mine that one, that's behaving correctly. If I mine there and then mine again, that'll work correctly. Fantastic. Okay, so this is good. So this has caught up with what I prepared. Took me a bit longer, but this code now is a bit cleaner. So the essential thing that I did just then was, well, two things could have affected it actually. I've included this count, so maybe we were getting hold of vertices we're not supposed to or something, and that was creating it. The other thing is that we only need to record that gap on the dictionary once if there is a change to any vertices, i.e. we are able to delete or mine a block, in this case a built block, um, and oh, wait a minute, we would never, if it was a built block, we would never mine spawn. So actually, it's only down here where we need to mine spawn anyway. So yeah, that's a big fail. And yeah, we do need to move this as well. We don't need to record a gap there every time we're checking a vertex. We want to do it here. Oh, someone showed me, thank you in the comments. I can press shift and tab, and that will remove the tabs. So when I've moved around a chunk of code like that to get the tab block in the correct place. Yeah, so before, every time we were finding a vertex in the right place, we were then recording another gap for like the whole cube. But we only need to do that once when we come down here to say, okay, at least one vertex was changed, so now let's, or removed, so let's record a gap in that position. So we only need to do that, this dictionary recording once. Then we mine spawn, then we regenerate the model, and then we combine everything. Good, 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 good. So that raises the question, why on earth am I trying to mine spawn things, spawn walls, if up here it doesn't equal? But anyway, I'll leave it all. Think about that another day, because this is all work. This is working. Let's just go and run that one more time, because I have changed some code there. So let's just make sure we can still dig in the terrain. That's the main thing. Sorry, that's the main thing with respect to the changes I just made. Let's generate a bit more terrain. Not a big fan of 103. Seed 103. Oh, my head really hurts, by the way. Just trying to get some sympathy. I'm ill. Ow, but genuinely, I need to stop looking at the screen. Right. Can I mine here? Yes. That was really scary. Having like overcome some bugs and then change something else, you want it just to work still. Good, good, good. And I can mine further into the ground. Yep. So the big difference there was we were mining terrain, and now we're mining on the builds model. So these spawned places and on the right. That's the next thing I really want to look at. So what happened there? It was asking the question, if there's something above me, don't spawn anything. So maybe I want to take that condition out of the mine spawn, because then you get a yeah, really horrible effect when you then dig that, and then there should be something there. Right, and this is all behaving in the right way, isn't it? And I'm not getting any. Oops. Oh, that's just reminded me. I don't want to be able to build when there is something already there. Since we're having a long video, should I go and have a look at that? The other thing was, let's just write some of these things down. Does it work? Fog darker has changed the dictionary for stepping onto blocks. Yeah, that is done. That was already technically complete last time. But next to that actually was 3.3, which I was just about to say. Tower step algorithm. Prevent smooth climb. So that was, yeah, in down here. I'm kind of hoping if I just talk it out, will it just be one line of code to change that? So in this range, we're saying, is there a block within a range for me to step up? If it doesn't equal none, so there is something there, and it's not a gap, which also means there's nothing there, then go up. Okay, I also want to say, let's just try and write this, and let's say, okay, I kind of want to get, yeah, I want to do this again, and I'll call this Teratop. Oh, that's brilliant. So it's one above where you are. So if Teratop, it sounds like Triceratops, Teratops, and Teratop, so the block one above does equal gap or Teratop equals none, then you can go, then you can set the target. Otherwise, and gravity on is set to false. Yeah, otherwise, we're just going to keep checking. So you can't get to the top of it. Lovely. Does that mean that would mean we're one off? I don't know. Okay, let's just run that code and build ourselves a tower. And while we're doing that, I'm kind of thinking about, ooh, oh, that's hilarious. Somehow this means gravity no longer works. Well, that was a great big fail, wasn't it? Oh, because right. Okay, so yeah, that I can't have this condition in here. And I'm also thinking about how to explain this as well. So, if I'm really high up in the air, then of course there's not going to be anything above something that I've just detected. So that was meaning that this was true, which it shouldn't have been. So then I want to say, surely this would have the same effect. Anyway, well, let's try it. If Teratop equals, wait a minute, this should be subject, wait a minute, plus I, oh wait a minute, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Maybe my original stuff was right, and I can just do this. Plus I, then minus 1. No, plus 1 to go 1 higher. That would be the next block up. Save that and try running. And aspirationally, if no, so it was kind of the logic as well. But I've now, at least I've got the correct, that will be the correct position. Won't it? So I'm going from step height. Yeah, adding another one. That's fine. Okay, so then I do need to take this off as well. Let's just delete that, delete that, delete that. So now I can say if teratop. So what have we said? We've said, yeah, if you found a block above your head or slightly below your head within the step range, and now we want to say if teratop equals none or teratop equals gap, then you can do the following, which I don't know, logically strikes me as being the same thing as what I just had. So this potentially will just have me floating in the air again. Oh, but I'm not. Will I just go straight through the floor? No, I've landed. Looks like it's working. And today, sir, the terrain seed is 100. Okay, so we're walking around. Wonderful. I like this terrain seed. 99, as I said before, I think, is my favourite. 100's pretty sweet. Okay, where's baby? Where's Axolotl? Oh, I've lost Axolotl. Anyway, let's now mine a hole. Oh, there we go. We will turn off terrain generation so we're a bit smoother. And let's go do some mining. And then, oh yeah, what we're actually testing, sorry, we're not really testing mining. We are testing whether we can build a tower and not be sucked to the top of it. So it's got to be at least 7, is that right? If our step height is 3, oh no, if our step height is 3, then if we make it 4, we should be able to get to the top of it. Wow. Again, I'm ill, so you're not allowed to be mean about my logic or lack of logic or lack of ability to do maths or arithmetic. It's not really maths, it's arithmetic, isn't it? Okay, so we've cleared some ground, so now let's build some stuff. So we should be able to, yep, get to the top of that. Drop down there, up there, lovely. Get on top of it, brilliant. So stuff is working as we predicted, as we wanted to. Can I get up to that one? I should be able to, yes. And now this one, I shouldn't, but we have. Let's try another one. Yep. So our solution hasn't worked. Let's just try a really tall tower. What could be happening is that it's checking. Oh, no, I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say it's maybe checking really high up first. We should only be checking 3 above where we are. But maybe something's happening, like it's maybe, you know, checking there at some point and then saying, well, I don't know. I don't know. Huh. That was definitely kind of doing something different. We're not being sucked up. We are being forced down. Anyway, that's beginning to work. Okay. Let's just insert a note for ourselves. Oops. We'll call it tower owl algorithm to prevent being sucked up beyond step height. Bug is that it may force us through the bottom of terrain. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a partial solution, which is good. Done. But we can then say 3.4 improve tower step algorithm, prevent pushing us through terrain. Bottom also seems to require too tall a tower, i.e. more than step height +1. It seemed to be beyond that even. But I need some more detailed testing for that. Oh, the other thing that we wanted to do then was where are we? Yeah, I'll put this down here. Smooth performance for building. Axe animation, we've kind of done. Let's put 12.2. Improve axe animation. Again, we might be able to more properly include Anoush's code to do that properly, which I didn't do last time. I just messed it up and then went for my own type. Add seed stuff in it to its own module. Where am I going to fit this? Okay, 18. Prevent building in place where on top of extant, that means already existing blocks. With 2 minutes and 30, let's go and try and do that. So if we go back to the mining system and look in build, here it is. If build mode is -1, then return. We also want to say, well, if there's something here, return as well. Is there already a block here? So let's go to mine, and we want to use that. Yeah, what is here? I want to use the what is here variable from there. We'll just use it here. It's going to be a temporary variable, so it's going to be different, distinct to that other variable because it's temporary scope or local scope. It will dissolve away from memory once build has returned. So this tdic get, and just make sure we're getting using the right key. Yeah, it's wherever our wireframe build tool entity is hovering. X, Y, and Z is already a block here. So then we could say if what's here equals gap, or what's here equals none. Well, I guess we'll turn these to don't equal that. If they don't equal that, and it doesn't equal none, then we're going to have to return. Is there already a block here? If so, return. No buildy. Save. Oh my god, 30 seconds to run a test to see if that bug is resolved. And then we can end the video. So I'll say kind of goodbye now, but let's see if it works. So what do I do? Build something. Okay. I now can't build anything. So that's definitely failed, hasn't it? Yep. So it's thinking something's there. What did I just do? So I've just done, come on. If what's here doesn't equal gap, and what's here doesn't equal none, what does it equal then? That's crazy. Print. What's here? It's quite funny. String. Oh, str I should write. Just to convert whatever's there, whatever's red, the value. That's ridiculous. Well, they're really funny. Yep. We're beyond an hour. These simple bug fixes. Although bug fixes obviously are never simple. Anyway, right. Can we build? No. Okay, at least we're getting from the terminal none. So it's getting none. So in the mining system. So let's pretend what's here equals none. So if what's here doesn't equal gap, oh, but it does equal gap. No, it does equal. If what's here doesn't equal, yeah, it doesn't equal gap, and what's here doesn't equal none, but it does equal none. Oh, not none in, not the word none in a string. I mean none, the actual property of being null. Okay. Again, at home, if you spotted that bug and were screaming it at the TV, slash computer slash phone slash futuristic device that hasn't been invented at the time of recording, well done. You get 319 points. Let's try and build something. Okay. Good news for me, for my mental health, is that the logic was correct, but the implementation was at fault. That was actually a good bug for you to see. That's gonna, I bet you're going to do that in the future, but now you'll know it's quite easy to do. So yeah, when you mean the property of being none, and you're dealing with dictionaries which often take strings, i.e. characters of text, then be careful. There we go. I've made this wonderful thing. I've never seen that before. That's lovely. Okay. Can I type? So I should be able to climb on top of it. There we go. It's not. At least it's not forcing me through the bottom of the terrain. Lovely. So we've solved some of the key things. Next video, I've got to solve this when we are. Actually, let's try and recreate it. So it's something like, if I mine this block, things will be correct. And I'll mine this block one down, things will be correct. But maybe when I mine, no, I've messed it up. So if I mine that one, and then mine this one, now I mine this one, then that's going to be fine. I need a step of just one, is that right? So, yeah, that one. Well, that's been fine. Damn. Well, next video, I'll try to recreate the bug. At the moment, it's all working too well. Yeah, when it's not supposed to work, then it works, as it were. Alright, I forget what to do. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. Sorry it's been a little while. I'll try and now record another video and So we're basically doing the biomes and the trees and all of that kind of thing. Lovely. We'll have some fun. Thank you very much. See you next time.